Can you hear me now? You should be able to hear me now. All right, then. I pressed the button the wrong way. Hey, Trina. Hey there. Hey there. Welcome to another episode of Conversations with Cookie B. I am Cookie B, and we about to get this party started. Now, as you know, I said all that to say it was 4:59, and y'all didn't even hear me. So guess what? We're going to start all over again. Hey there. I know y'all can hear me now. Press the button. Hello, Calvin. I've been waiting on you. Welcome to another episode of Conversations with Cookie B. As you know, I am Cookie B, and I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Calvin, I want to thank you also for the wonderful sayings that you've been sending me. They've been right on time. Also, as you know, I'm going to do my little, I'm running out of cards. So after this, I'm going to find something else to do. But hey, Kelly. Hey there. I think that, hey, Blue, I think that's your picture. Hey, Nana. Thank you, Kanai, for typing that in there. One moment on the sound. I didn't press the button down. All right. So let's see what we're going to choose today. Let's see what we are going to choose today. And today's card is patience. Now, did I do this card already? Well, I don't know. Well, I'm doing it again. Patience. Patience. Be patient. Be willing to pass up good for great. Patience. Be patient. Be willing to pass up good for great. All right. All right. Now, as you know, I done already poured me a drink. I'm going to pour you a drink. Also, hey there. We also going to talk about birthdays today. And as you know, today is Kim Fields' birthday. Also, Ving Rhames. Ving Rhames, he just was recently in the hospital, but I think he's all right now. So I'm glad to know that he's all right. Ving Rhames' birthday is today, May 12th. Also, Cuban Doll, I guess she a rapper or influencer or something like that. Vanessa E. Williams. She's I'll usually say, the dark skin and the light skin one. So Vanessa E. Williams, her birthday today. She was born May 12th, 1963. That's the dark skinned one. Steve Smith, he's a football player. Also, Mohamed Bamba, he plays for the Texas, I forgot what Texas basketball team that is. And then somebody named Young Eads. They were born May 12, 1993. Also, oh my gosh, my thing is right here. Today in Black History. Hey there, y'all. Hey there. Come on in. Come on in. Today in Black History. Education and leadership. Education and leadership. What is this saying? I didn't read that earlier. I'm sorry. We don't have much in today in Black History. I don't know why, but it just says nothing really happened. Civil rights. No, ain't nothing happened today. All right. Patience was last Thursday. Hey there. I thought so. I thought I read that card already. So I don't know what happened, but patience was Thursday. So I thought I must have put it on top. So I apologize, y'all. I did y'all a disservice. Let me go ahead and shuffle these again. And, hey, Blue, thank you so much. I'll go ahead and I thought I read that one before. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this one out. Pull a new card, boundaries. Protect your precious time and energy. Boundaries. Protect your precious time and energies. Hey, Will, you right. Let's go. Let's go. Now, I'm going to give you guys an update. Calvin, I'm going to get to you in a minute because I told you guys a story on Thursday with a young man. Hey, Piggy Boo, with a young man who was waiting patiently. Yeah, patience. I thought so. It triggered something on a woman that he's interested in. Now, this young man went back and I told him, I said, I talked about you on my podcast, and he went and listened. And in him listening, he wanted to explain more to me. Now, he listened to all of y'all comments about, dude, in the meantime, blah, blah, blah. But he wanted to stress to me to say, he is going to wait on God. But in the meantime, he is going to live his life. So that was the more or less question that we kept saying, like, what do you do in the meantime? What do you do in the meantime? What do you do in the meantime? And in the meantime, he said he just, gonna do what he needs to do. And that's fine. Tell him to call you. I will. I was hoping because Will, my sometimes co-host, has another life. By the time he comes into the spot, you gone. So I don't get to introduce. Hey, Sebastian, thank you for tuning in. I don't get to introduce you guys, and maybe you can spit some knowledge to him. But I think he pretty much has the situation under control. He celebrated his birthday this past weekend. Happy birthday, and we had a great time. Now, in also talking about that relationship, a bunch of questions kept coming to mind. Now, also, I have to share with you guys some more conversations that was happening in the room. But I have a question, and I'm going to start it off like this. I have a question. When you're dating, and this is for people who in the past who had already dated and got their significant other, even if I just want you to, I said this past weekend, I want you to do something for me, if you will. Everybody, think back to your very first time. Now, I'm not talking about the first time of that, but I'm telling you to think back in regards to when you were dating, or if you are dating now. I asked this question too because you wonder, because you don't want any confusion. And you wonder, like, when does it become official? What are you doing? You have questions. So, he mentioned, I'm trying to get the situation right too. He mentioned that, at one time, him and the young lady were a couple. I'm just giving a little background. And then she has a child. He has a child. She does respond to the text messages, but also, in discovering all this, I received a text message from another friend. And friend, if you want me to say your name, I will. And I think I read this out loud. This was on Thursday's show, where it's not an ultimatum, but more or less it's a deadline. And I think I pinned the comment, and me and my daughter were talking about this because we were talking about when do you make it official or blah, blah, blah. My boy Calvin came on and said he's more or less given not a deadline, but 5 is one of my magical numbers. So he's given a 5 month, like, hey, if this doesn't happen, or if we haven't reached, because we, with each other day in, day out, blah, blah, blah. If we haven't decided what we going to do within 5 months, we just going to walk away. Now, that's a question for me, because I think I asked, when you're in the process of getting to know each other, when you're in the process of courting or dating, are there really time limits? Now, as I was doing that and thinking about that, some other questions came to mind, because I was going to pull one of my cards for tonight's conversation, and it says, how long do you think a couple should date before becoming official? Now, we asked that question on, I think, Tuesday or Thursday of last week. How long should I be waiting? And in the meantime, what do I do? And when are we official? Now, I'm asking that question because a lot of people say 3 months. Calvin put in the chat that it was 5 months. 5 months. I'm giving her 5 months. I don't understand what the deadline is, but I want to ask you guys too. When you were dating, was there a timeline? I have to ask that question. Was there a timeline? Now, Sebastian says, don't give ultimatums or deadlines because rushing will have disappointments. You are correct. Now, I don't think about, Sebastian, I understand what you're saying. I don't think about it in that way when you says, hey, Tammy, when you say deadlines, because there's a point in the relationship when you do make it official. Now, majority of my listeners, most of you guys, are either married or in long-term relationships. And I think Sebastian, Calvin. Calvin's been married before. Sebastian's been married before. Everybody, more or less, has been married before. But when you're asking these questions, I want you to think back in your relationship. How long was it before you guys made it official? How long was it before, if you guys decided, my married folks, how long was it before you said, you know what? We might as well live together. How long was it? Because we talked about Thursday, patience. So how long was it before you made it official? How long was it before you decided, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and marry her, or we're going to live together? Now, what strikes me, what strikes me kind of good too, and then this is funny because I think about my relationship with other people, and I think about the relationships that I know or I have insight on when it comes to my other friends' relationships, because I know that, let's say, when I got engaged to my daughter's father, I want to say it was, I don't know, was it 5 years? Was it 5 years? I want to say it was about 4 or 5 years before he proposed. And I'm wondering about patience and time limits, because I believe, and I've talked about this on my show before, a man knows. So does a woman. Now, I've been dealing with a little bit of issues because my friend Will advised me that not more or less I was doing anything wrong, but I have the new mantra, date them all. But he and I were kind of discussing, are you wasting somebody's time, especially if you don't know? Or you do know, because they say women know within a couple of minutes, you know, ain't nothing going to happen between us. And it's not really, to me, wasting anybody's time. It's about going through the experience. Because sometimes, you know, you never know, because we may judge and say, oh, I ain't think she was, or I ain't think he was. But then they may turn out to be the one. Now, Sebastian says we were living together for 7 months, but I had known her for a year. Then we decided to get married. Now, Sebastian, thank you for your candor. Thank you for being so honest. But I'm asking this question because, Will, when you say yes, we were discussing this because I had this conversation over the weekend. Now, one of my girlfriends was, I'm going to tell y'all this short story because this all ties in together. One of my girlfriends was about to go out of town. And she has a friend. Let's say that. He's a friend. But her and her friend have slept together on occasion, but there's no definition of the relationship. So she asked me, come here, Cookie, let me ask you a couple of questions. So in her asking me these questions, the first thing I was saying was, number one, you ain't supposed to be fucking your friends. But number two, the reason we had this a question, it's official when I ask about ring sizes. Oh, okay. So Blue, in the meantime, you just dating. You're not worried about nothing. It becomes official when you ask about ring sizes. So in the meantime, she's not your girlfriend. She's not somebody you're seeing. And I have to ask you that. In the meantime, Blue, when you say it becomes official when you ask about ring sizes, I have to ask you, so what are y'all doing in between? How do you introduce her? Or does she get introduced? So in the meantime, what is her understanding of your relationship? Are we just talking? Can I see other people? Because it's not official based on your definition until you give me a ring. I'm going to leave that right there, but I'm going to go back to my story. So she was about to go out of town. And as she was about to go out of town, she asked, oh, it's just dating. Okay, so this is just my friend. Okay, now I'm noticing the men saying this, and that's okay. The men are saying, well, in the meantime, she's just my friend. So this ain't my woman. This ain't no me and her relationship. This person is just your friend. Okay. I got to rethink some shit. All right. So she's about to go out of town. But before she goes out of town, she asks her friend, can I have some before I go out of town? He politely declines and says, no. Now, he told her no. No. Now, I defended this man because I was saying, well, maybe he doesn't look at you like that. Maybe he's looking at you like, I don't just want to stick and move. I don't just want to hit it and quit it. Or maybe I'll tighten you up when you come back. You know, maybe we'll do something when you come back from out of town. So then that way, you know, I know you're coming back to me. I don't know. But I had a question about that because women really do control certain things. No doubt. But in that particular situation, when it comes to patience, when it comes to dating, when it comes to defining a relationship, I'm really a little lost because as old as she's an older woman, not older woman, but with her situation, I was saying to myself, so you just want to fuck him? I mean, that was just me. That was just me. That was me just asking. So, both based on the definition, I mean, the answers that you guys are giving me, that's just your friend, and we just growing. Now I'm a little old school because I'm not understanding. Because now we're not defining anything. Now we're in open relationships. Now we don't have a time limit. I'm a little lost, and I've been drinking, y'all. So help me out. Help me out. Will, what you got to say?
So going back to the situation with she came over and she said, before I go, can I get a I'm gonna ask you this. Is she the reacher or is she the settler?
Now, you know what? Based on meeting him and based on meeting her, I don't know. Because I was sitting there looking at his face and I was defending him, Will. I kept saying, maybe he don't just want to fuck you. Maybe he's saying, baby, I'll talk to you when I get back. Maybe he was really trying to be a gentleman. He didn't, I mean, they slept together before, don't get me wrong. But I don't know if I was offended. I don't know if I'm getting old. I'm just saying to myself, so you just asked him, you know, give me some before I leave.
Yeah. And he said no.
I was shocked. I wasn't shocked, but
Because she's
y'all
reaching
excuse me for
and
looking
he's
over to the y'all excuse me for looking over to the right because I'm looking at on my phone. I can't see Will, but then I can see him on my tablet. Look, this was me, Will. I said, if y'all just friends, he don't want to fuck his friend. Maybe he's trying to let you down easy because maybe he don't want to fuck you no more. I don't know. But in my mind, I was saying, you were bold enough to say, can I have some before I go out of town?
because she's reaching.
Then
I'm
you
telling you
define.
about so think about this, and you and I mutually know some people that date and they use people for specific things and only those specific things. Right? We'll leave it at that. So in that same situation, when again, I always go back to rule number one: the ultimate goal for a male is to get the cookie. And the
Yeah.
fact that she brought all dozen and he ain't want no parts of the cookie. I mean, I don't know what else to say to that.
I didn't either. And in my mind, when I'm sitting there, because she called me over to say, Cookie, I got to ask you a question. So I'm sitting there going, well, number one, I'm honest and I'm glad you thought to share this with me, you know. But I was saying to myself, so you about to go out of town. And the only reason you talking to him right now is because you said, you know, I want him to give me some before I go out of town. Now I asked him, and I'm more or less defending him going, well, maybe he don't, you know what, maybe he tired.
Nah.
And I said this to her, maybe he on his period. He don't want to be bothered today. And I know men have their times. Every man is not a dog. Men can turn down pussy. They can. And I was saying to myself,
But not
he turning
good.
down this
But
pussy.
not good. Because I'm just telling you, right? If you throw it up in the air and the whole sunshine thing, no man ain't turning that down. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So that means it was mediocre at best. It wasn't worth the effort. And I ain't trying to put nobody on blast because I have no idea who you're talking about. But I'm telling you from a male perspective, I'm sorry. If it wasn't good enough for me to go, okay, let's go right here, right now. And it was offered and he said no. Look,
Now,
you should be looking in the mirror at yourself and going, you know what? I thought I was a 7, but I must be a solid 3. I'm just saying, I must be a solid 3.
well, this was me. I didn't want to say anything like that because I was trying to keep the conversation positive. Because in my mind, I was saying the same thing, like, you turning down some pussy.
Because the truth is the truth.
That's a little strange. But in my mind also, I was saying maybe he really wasn't in the mood. Maybe she do got some good coochie. Maybe he was just saying,
No,
baby, maybe he was saying, baby, I'll hit that when you get back from out of town because I know you ain't
no,
going nowhere.
no, it
No.
doesn't work like that for men. If it's grade A, filet mignon, I'm trying to tell you, we ain't saying no to that. Because we don't want to offend that person so that they like won't come back.
Okay.
There's a value. There is still a value. Right? Now we know there are certain men after 2 o'clock, 2 a.m. will hit anything. Even in the
Yeah.
book, right? Will hit anything. But that grade A, yeah, that's what you're seeking. That's what you're trying to find. If grade A came into your house and the filet mignon is right there, you're not saying no to that. If you saying no, then I'm telling you, it's not that was chop steak. I'm sorry.
Now, you know what? This is drawing me to another one of my questions because I think we've asked this before. And I'm gonna just piggyback off this because we talked about, the relationship that my friend was having, and he thanks you guys. I mean, oh my gosh, thank you for saying that. He thanks you guys, and he don't even know y'all, but he went back because when we were sitting in the lounge, he said, I'm finna go listen to your podcast right now. So I told him we just did it on Thursday. He went and listened, and came back with perspective, but he also, not really, well, he was defending himself more or less, but he was saying, tell your audience, thank you for their input. Because he's, like I said, he's a God-fearing man. He said, thank you for your input. He wasn't offended. He wasn't nothing. But he was just like, wow, a lot of people have an opinion, but it gave him, and he did say this, it gave him a different perspective because he was saying, hey, I'm waiting on the Lord until the Lord move, blah, blah, blah. I'm not doing anything. I got to trust and believe that the Lord is going to work on her because this is my heart's desire. No problem. In the meantime, like I said, I was having all type of questions. I was just like, what do you do while you wait? What do you do while you waiting? Sebastian says sometimes it's too much work. Questions come up. Hold on, I'm sorry, most of us. Questions come up. Does she lay there? Does she get on top? If I'm going to do hard labor, I will turn it down.
Well,
Sebastian, I love your honesty. The thing that came up to me was, like you said, Will, maybe he didn't want her coochie that night. Maybe he was giving her the okay to go ahead out of town. And if you get some out of town, that's fine because I'm good. It could be anything. Blue says the good is worthy. He could have slung that.
I'm
Watch
trying
out
to
now. Hey, Coco.
told
The
you.
good.
Told
But
you.
go ahead, Will.
No, I'm just telling you, like you're not turning down if it's sunshine, you throw it up in the air and it beamed up. Yeah, you ain't saying no to that. I'm sorry, you're
But
not.
hold on. There was another conversation that I had this past weekend with my secret crush, and he was also advising me. I get women that throw it at me all the time, but because he too is seeking a higher power, he's like, my mind is set on other things. All that I ain't worried about because I can always get that.
Okay.
So if let me say this, and this is just hypothetical, ladies and gentlemen. I'm looking to the camera. This is just hypothetical. This did not happen. But if I'm throwing the coochie at you and you say no because you trying to, I get that all the time. You ain't never had my shit, so you don't know whether it's good or bad. But you still turn it down. Now there are men out there who will say, I ain't got to jump at everything to jump at me. It has nothing to do with reaching or settling. Maybe it just really
Yes,
truly
it
has something to do
does.
with him waiting
Oh
on the
my
Lord.
gosh. Okay, so again, I'm gonna say this again. I understand what you're saying. The
Mm-hmm.
words that are coming out of your mouth, I comprehend all of them. But human nature takes over, and if your curiosity, I don't care what dude it is, you cannot tell me that it's not gonna go across his mind to think about it first. And if everything is right, the mood is right, the tone is right, the situation is right, you not gonna tell me that that dude is not gonna take that chance. I don't care how much he getting. You understand me? I don't care how much he getting. Cause
Will,
again, there's a saying: there is no cookie better than new cookie.
Will,
Listen to what I'm saying.
some men can say no.
I hear what you're saying, and I'm not saying that they can't say no. But at the end of the day, if it's sunshine, she coming back to sun. You know what? Think about this. Why did certain aunties, grandmas, like I ain't trying to put everybody's business out there, they kept a man. He always came back because it was sunshine. You threw it up in the air and it brought him back. So stop it. We not gonna play the game like it wasn't a real thing. There were certain females, certain aunties that no matter what, my auntie ain't worked in I don't know how many years. She ain't never paid the bill. I had multiple uncles. Look, I'm from Chicago. You know what I'm talking about. It was always that one aunt. She was always at the lounge. She was at the
It's
50
true.
yard lounge. Come on. So, like, you can't
No.
tell me. You cannot tell me.
Will,
But you think now these men walking around like, no, no,
Will,
you're not going to give me that. No.
Will,
Go away,
you
woman.
can't. Will, I'm going to disagree because you can't group everybody like that. Some men can say no,
Okay,
just
most.
like women say no.
Most.
Some women, go ahead.
Most. I'm saying most men won't say no. Look, the one currency that is universal on every planet and every biblical parts of the world
It's Gucci.
has been the cookie. So I understand what you're
you,
saying.
you heard me. I said it's been Gucci. You're right. You're right.
Exactly. So you telling me now
But
that the one universal currency, all of a sudden now people, if it's top tier, grade A, sunshine, is saying no. Stop it. Stop
okay,
it.
let
Stop
me
it.
ask this. Even if it's grade A or anything like that, most, and I think you've talked about this too, Will. Can you stay in a relationship with someone and the sex is not good?
No.
You cannot.
No.
Audience, I'm asking you this question. And you can
No.
put in your question yes or no. Now I know most of you guys are in relationships or are happily married. I do have to ask this question. Could you be in a relationship if the sex was not what you wanted? If it wasn't good to you? Let me say that because it may have been good to somebody else. But if it wasn't good to you, could you stay in the relationship? So those of you that are watching, the 9 of you that are watching, I want you guys to put it in the chat. Yes or no. Now, Sebastian says Helena Troy started a war over that.
Mm,
Godiva Chocolate says absolutely not. Blue
mm,
says absolutely no.
mm,
So let me ask you now, when y'all put this in, come on now, it don't matter. I'm asking this question because, okay,
eh,
Kelly says no.
mm.
I'm asking this question. Nana, what you say? Tammy says no.
Nana said, hell no.
Godiva says no one will be seeing someone Wait, no one will be seeing someone. No one will be seeing someone whack ass meat missile. Ooh. Peggy Boo says no. Nana says no. I have before, but I must. Oh, Coco, thank you for your honesty. Coco says, I have before, but I must admit I did step out.
To get the good. I understand.
Now, Coco, I know you're happily married. For your husband who may listen to this at a later time, he'll be all right because I know he's securing his mail. But I want to ask you this. Thinking back, Coco, when you say you had to step out, what made you stay with him even though it wasn't good? Like, why step out? What made you stay with him even though it was not good? Hey, TT, Brenda says, oh, damn, what I missed. Sebastian says, I just can't. Not at this point in my life. I'm too old to settle for mediocre. I totally agree. Now, I have to ask that question because...
Alexa, turn on Game Room.
I have to ask that question because there are some women, and well, let me say based on my experience. I have had, I've been drinking, so hold on a minute. Let me tell y'all the story.
I just want to thank everybody for siding with me. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, Will said thank you. What you say, Kanat? Kanat said, here you go with the lights. Alexa, turn on Game Room.
Don't be jealous.
I just can't at this point. Now, I have to say this because I had my shot, and I'm just going to be brutally honest with you, and that's what I'm going to do. Now, I can count on one hand, or maybe, one hand. I've had at least 4 men. Sex was just trash. And when I say the sex was trash, they just didn't satisfy me. Let me say that. And it was not good. It wasn't none of that. Mediocre and it wasn't none of that. But in doing that, they happened to be a nice person, but I wasn't going to waste my time. Nothing. Usually they had done everything before. Like, we done been to dinner, blah, 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 a couple of times. Then we got to the sex part. And then I'm like, I can't do this. I just can't do this. I asked that question because I be wondering sometimes to men, because women, we are the receiver. Like Will has his reachers and settlers. We're the receivers. Men, you can't fault them sometimes because of how God blessed and not blessed them or whatever. You know, we have that terminology. So you can't fault them sometimes. But there are some women out here who love the men that I've had. I just know I couldn't because I know that was a major part of the relationship because I was going, I would be very unhappy. And like Coco said, she would have stepped out. Now, Coco said it was the way he treated me. We had built a life together. We weren't married, but we're together for years. We were more mentally connected. Okay, so if I have to ask the women, because that's going to take me on a whole nother tangent. Hold on one moment. Godiva says, me too. That's why my ass has so many typos. D-Lo says, now D-Lo is one of our senior TTs, and she says, me too. That's why she says mediocre, medical problem, or indifference. It don't matter. Because right now, there are some men that are our age, 55 and up, that are having medical problems. The thing I talked to, y'all just know y'all tapping into this energy right here. Because when I was in the lounge this weekend, we talked about that. There are some men who have medical problems, but then don't even want to go to the doctor to check on the medical problem because you knew damn well you had high blood pressure.
Time out.
You knew damn well you was gaining that weight. And you don't want to go to the doctor?
Time out. And I just got to flip the script. There are females, again, going through some similar issues in their personal summers. There are some females that are going through dryness. There are some females that are going through lack of want as well. And then they want a guy to do all these things and whatever, but it's a two-way street. Now, if you're adults, you can talk through this stuff. Hey, sweetie, you know what? Let's lose this KY jelly. Hey, sweetie, you know what?
But
Let's
a woman will say that.
No, they won't.
The one who'll be like, oh, no, you know I had too much to drink. You know it ain't working. Why you knew you had this issue with every woman before you? Because this ain't the first time it happened. Women, we recognize off the bat. Let me go ahead and order me some her fantasy. Let me go ahead and get me some black girl vitamins because I'm going to take care of this. Men be like, oh no, with this one, shoot, I saw her out there. She had me hard. I'm gonna get it. Then when you get it, you get there, you can't even get it up.
But see how you put everybody in the boat again? Like you just
I
told
didn't
me.
put
Don't put
everybody in the boat.
You
I'm just
did. You
saying
just
what
said
happened
men.
before.
You just said men. And what I'm
Well,
saying
you
is,
know what?
you're 100% right, because men are very skeptical when it comes to that, right? Because we don't know when it's not doing what it's supposed to do until the last possible moment. Because there are some times with no issues, and there's and I'm not speaking from personal experience, just throwing it out there. And then there's sometimes that it's like, wait a minute, what happened, right? And we talked about that at men's group. So again, getting men to check out their health, right? Go get your prostate exam, go get whatever, right? They make enough pills now, and Blue Magic and Blue this and Blue Chew
Blue
and
Chew.
name it, right? They got all of that. So there's really no excuse. But I will say, you got to understand that's a psychological thing that really sticks in a man's head, because we base our masculinity on that, right? And so when we feel like we're not pleasing, because again, and I've talked about this in men's group, there are other ways around it, right? If you doing say again,
Go get help. If
right?
you know, this ain't the first time it happened to you. This is the thing that I don't understand with men. This ain't the first time it happened to you. I know it's not. I know it's not. So why not, even number one, if it hasn't happened to you, why not keep up with your own health?
Because men are dumb. I mean, I'm just calling it what it is. We're dumb like that. Like, how many men are really making appointments to get their checkup, right? Especially when you hit that 50 number and they gotta take them two fingers and go prospecting. No, I'm that's not something you look forward to, right? But I
It's
understand
not.
that you
It's
have to get it done.
you
I'm
do.
not
You do.
disagreeing with you. I know it has to be done. But that's not common, that's not the norm. So
Okay. So
let's talk about
Sebastian.
fully functional men.
Okay, now to your defense, Sebastian says, I've had an experience with a woman when I was young. It was like having sex in the desert. I think I done had one shot too many. I don't blame you, but I promise you, a woman is more in tune with her body than a man. And I get that. But a man, you know.
Not all.
Okay.
Some. Because
So
there are
so
people
Will,
that'll be walking through there and you like, oh,
I'm not gonna be in your business like that. I know you're happily married. I get it. But I'm talking for the men in the back who don't hear you talking. Why won't y'all go to the doctor? Why do you know? And I'm not saying with her situation, but he may have been saying, I'm having a I'm I'm giving the man a benefit of the doubt because maybe he having an episode. He's saying, I don't feel like men are sometimes not in the mood. Man, I don't feel like fucking tonight.
that's the woman's fault. That's the woman's
Oh,
fault. That's the woman's fault. I'm sorry. That's the woman's fault.
speak on it. Speak on it. Like why?
Look, we are visual creatures. Let's understand that. We are visual creatures. Because, okay, I'm about to throw her under the bus, Miss Cookie B. You know I love you
Come
to
on,
death.
come on,
But when
come
you
on.
walk
We
in the
here for it.
patio, and you know all them heads be turning, we are visual creatures. I'm just saying, we are visual creatures. So,
Now, but
but
before
but
you continue, Will, I'm gonna say
Mhm.
something that my girlfriend has said to me. A hard dick just want to get soft. So are
Okay.
y'all really that choosy? Because you're visual.
Yeah, we are. Absolutely. So what I'm saying is, and I'm not talking about in general, but what I'm saying is, so you get that man alone. We are visual creatures,
Uh-huh.
right?
Uh-huh.
And if it's done correctly, because the worst thing that I think you can do with a male is turn out the lights. That's the worst thing you can
The
do.
worst thing,
The worst thing you can do is turn out the lights.
you know what? Let
Dip,
me stop you right there
go ahead.
because I forgot to tell y'all in the middle of this conversation my statement shirt. But God gonna have to help us out with this one. Go ahead.
hmm
But
So
God.
dimming the lights, dimming the lights changes
Okay.
everything, right? And this is the thing that, and I'm just being 100% straight. You want real conversation? We have real conversations.
We are. We
Lady,
having real
lady,
conversation.
if you want to keep it a buck, my gosh, go to Victoria's Secrets. Find out what her secret is. Right? Go
It's
get
a,
whatever you need to do.
the secret is Victoria is really a man.
Well, okay, that's fine. But that being said, find out what your man likes. If your man like your legs, throw some stockings on. If your man like your breasts, get the right bra to do what he got to do. But do what you got to do because there's something that that man likes that is a turn on. But if you don't know what that is, you're not going to press that button. So again, we get visual 100% and it's mental. Think I'm
Okay.
joking? Walk up on any man that you sort of like or whatever, whisper in his ear. Damn, I was just thinking about in that voice. I ain't talking about that voice. I'm talking about that sexual voice. I guarantee you're gonna get his attention the rest of the night.
Hold on. Now that's not thank you. Oh God, you are just let me tell you, that's not necessarily true. Because I truly did walk up to my crush and I said, now you come in here walking all sexy again with them bow legs. It's gonna be an issue. He didn't move.
That's
He
one
ain't say
person.
nothing.
That's one
He
person.
didn't say nothing.
Okay, what'd he do?
No. Looked at me and smiled. That's it.
You imprinted in his brain. That's my point. I just said he gonna think about you for the rest of the night.
She ain't thought about me for the rest of the night.
Now you
Because
may
if
have
he
not
thought
gotten the
about me for the
response
rest of the
that
night, he'd
you.
have been like this. Look here. We're going to quit playing these games. We're going to go ahead and hit. I'm going ahead and we're going to hit that. We're
That's
going to
what
hit
you wanted him to say, but I'm telling you, you imprinted
that. He
on his
did.
brain. The point of what
No.
I'm saying is men are visual creatures and we're auditory. So again, with the right visual aspect of it, and I guarantee all these people in that chat, they know, especially the married women, they know. You put that right dress on, or you put that right lingerie on, and I'm telling you, it's on. It's on and popping.
What Dolores says, my ex started on that path. We had a frank conversation and I explained what I needed and I asked him what he could do about it. We were both honest and it worked out wonderfully. Hey, D-Lo. Thank you, baby. Sebastian says, stopped him in his tracks. No, I didn't stop him in his tracks. He didn't do none of that. He just said, Cookie, what he said to me was, Cookie, you think you fucking with the wrong one. Cause I ain't one of them niggas that be out in the streets. And I said, no, I said what was on my heart. I don't think I'm fucking with the right one. I told you what I wanted.
Cookie, you talking code.
I guess I'm not what he wanted.
Cookie,
That's all.
you talking code. Be
I'm
direct with
not
that
talking in
man.
code. I
No, I'm not
said
talking
it
about right
just
now.
to
I'm talking
him.
about so Cookie, you want a dominant guy, obviously 6'4" or better, but a dominant guy to come and approach you, woo you off of your feet, and do all the masculine things, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not most guys. And again, that's why you waiting for your special one. That's the truth. That's not
You're
most
right.
guys, right? Because again, what's the most common denominator thing that you hear? Okay. So right, you ain't for everybody. You ain't for everybody. And that's okay. You're not supposed to be
And
for
I'm
everybody.
okay with that.
Yeah,
I am okay with
absolutely.
that. But I have thrown, this is me. I have thrown enough hints at this man
See what
to
I'm
let
saying?
him know that you
Hence.
have the go ahead.
Hence. We still playing games. We too old for hence.
You're right. And I'm like, okay, dude, I'm letting you know. But to his defense, he was saying to me, he's a man of God, that he is just waiting because he has some things he has to take care of and blah, blah, blah. And my response was, don't make me wait too long, Harpo, because I ain't going to wait too long. And that was all I said. Hey, Mark. What Mark said, hey, y'all, I can't hear you because I'm at the bar. Mark, shut up. Anyway,
The,
when
the
we
point I'm
talking about
making
this
is
time,
the point I'm
go
making is
ahead.
hence, this is to all women out there, any level. Ask your man, hints are so bad. Hints are so bad. Because you could be hitting on something, and I'm telling you, we're guys. We're just what? Well, what are you talking about? Just tell me.
Well, Tammy say he's scared of me. Now, this is the thing. Now, Tammy, I'm glad you said that because one of his statements was, I meet a lot of women from Chicago and y'all a different breed. He
Facts.
said, but y'all don't play. And
Facts.
we don't. But he
Facts.
said, you know what? I got to learn how to handle y'all.
What's wrong with that? That's the truth. That is truth.
I'm gonna wait till he learn how to handle me then.
Or you could teach him in the meantime.
No, he ain't ready to be taught because
See
he
what I'm
told
saying?
me he got some stuff that he need to do. So it's okay. Crown Royal and me go together, right? I'm drinking my Frisky whiskey, and I think this is about my fourth shot.
Oh,
And I'm sitting here going, you know what? This conversation, as I was coming on for today, had me a little scared because I was like, okay, I'm gonna give an update, on my friend who was telling that we talked about on Thursday. He went and listened to the live, and he listened to everybody's conversation. He listened to everybody's comment. He read them. He was like, wow, Cookie, you really doing your thing. But in the same instance, I want to pray for this brother. I want him to be happiness. Let's say I want to agree. I have to agree with you, Will. You have to be more direct. No, I'm not going to be more direct. I'm not no longer anymore. I'm
yeah,
no
you
longer
getting
going
it.
to be more direct anymore because in my mind, I'm going to really try to be a fucking lady. A man knows what he wants. So I'm going to let him or whoever he is in the universe come after it. When you guys talk about me being intimidating or whatever, I think that part of my personality, when I'm laughing or joking or whatever, can scare off some men. So I'm learning to just sit back and listen. Now, in me doing all that, I may miss out on some shit because I do know that sometimes I do talk shit because I'm letting you know, hey, I'm approachable, I'm comfortable. You can say, we can have a conversation, but that doesn't always come across the right way with me. May come across with y'all, but most of y'all, but it doesn't come across the right way with me. Because as a single Black woman, sitting and making herself more available or open to the universe, it's just not happening. Just not happening. Even
Okay,
with that
so
conversation, even with the people, and I'm thinking, I'm being patient. I'm thinking maybe it's just not my time right now. And believe me, I am okay with me. Because I know y'all told y'all guys, I'm approaching my 58th birthday. I am having the time of my life. All y'all who be talking about, oh, well, we trying to figure it out. Don't try
I
to
agree,
figure it out with me
Coco.
because I ain't doing all that. Brenda says, don't throw no hints. Walk
Mm,
up to him and see what's up. You
mm,
might get his attention. Don't
mm,
always have to be the man that comes to the female.
mm,
Now, let me advise you.
mm,
I have walked up to this man. I have
mm.
made my intention known, but that man has to get his life in order, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. Sebastian says, why does it make you nervous? Cookie, you started this forum because you like being Oprah. You know what? I am human. So I do get nervous. Like you guys was trying to get me. I'm at my favorite hole in the wall. One of my guy friends, Tally, love you, Tally. He said, Cookie B gonna sing. You guys, I am grateful for the voice that God has given me. Please don't get me wrong. But y'all ain't gonna keep pimping me out. I don't want to sing all the time. There are some people that I acknowledge that have better voices than me, than worse voices than me. But I don't want to sing all the time. So when y'all pimping me out like that, like Cookie gonna sing, that's for you. That's not for me. So please respect my boundaries because I'd be like this. I don't want to sing. I don't want to do that. So when you say, guys, like I enjoy attention, it's not really that. It's really that I enjoy conversation. I enjoy being around people. I enjoy hearing other perspectives. But I know my personality. Believe me, y'all. I know the woman that I am. Mark says it's some pretty women coming in here, Lord. Tammy says, right. Who wants to keep coming at a man who starts to sound like rejection? If he's single and free, he will come to you. Thank you. Now, this man that I'm speaking of has some things that he has going on that he has to clean up. And he shared that with me. I'm not going to put his business on here. So in the meantime, until you get that cleaned up, you go ahead. But I'm not finna wait on you. No, that's what I'm not gonna do. Tina says, yes, I think women should walk out on faith. Um, I'm understanding that now because
Good
I was
job,
trying
Tina.
to get out of the intimidation stage, Will. I was trying to say, okay, you don't have to be intimidated because now I'm approaching you. I'm letting you know that I too have an interest.
No,
Didn't
I
work
agree
for
with
me.
that, but it doesn't necessarily work with everybody, right? And
You're
and
right.
what I'm saying is this. I'm saying keep your open mindset.
Yes.
I'm telling you, guys don't like hints because we can't stand rejection. Rejection is one of those things that we absolutely hate, right? So when
Okay.
we
Stop,
so
Will. Stop.
go
Stop.
ahead,
So
go
I
ahead.
can't hit. I can't let you know I'm interested. So what the fuck am I supposed to do?
No, I said let them know you're interested, but when you throw a
Okay.
hint, like, "Hey, how's it going?" and you're like, "See, girl, I tried to talk to him and he didn't." No, that's he. You stop it, stop it. But what I'm saying is
Cole, come on.
you're selective in guys, which you should be. So every guy isn't for you. And somebody said in the comments, and I'm just repeating it: if a guy is intimidated by you, then he's definitely not for you
Correct.
because you can't water yourself down, right?
No, I'm not going to. Not
So,
anymore.
so I'm gonna give y'all another theory. So
Come on.
let's say that again. If you talk about confident, so we're gonna put Cookie at a 10. Your confidence at a 10, right? You can't date a guy less than an 8 in confidence. Now I'm gonna explain that, right? So let's say the guy is a 2 in confidence, right? So you're a 10 in the confidence, he's a 2. For you to step down and go down 2 levels from a 10 to an 8, and he go up 2 levels, now he's only a 4. That 8 is going to dominate that 4. Then for you to get down to a 5 and him to come up to a 5, think about how much you got to water yourself down by half, and then he has to grow by half. It doesn't work out because
Now
that's
you
not
know
your
what?
natural level.
Will, I have to tell you this, and I thank you every time you come on my show. I surely do thank you. But I thank you for giving us in that perspective, because now I have to tell you guys, every time any man that I'm talking to, I really think about his thing about reachers and settlers, because there are some men, and I can say that especially because it happened this weekend, that I'm looking at this man going, really? Because I know that he's reaching. Because I'm saying to myself, you are, and I'm not negating the man, but I'm like, you a nerd, you such and such. So like, what made you think you could talk to me? But it's only because I spoke. I opened myself up. He felt comfortable coming in, but I'm going, you ain't what I want. I know you ain't what I want. But then when you say that, why are we going through this at this age where, and I have to say, you guys, I've never had it broken down like this, because it becomes technical. Like you say, reachers and settlers. You have the doers and they want like what this show, the have and the have nots. You
Right.
have so many different things you have to think about, when I'm just thinking this should be so simple. This should happen organically. I meet you, or I see you from across I see you, you see me, we get together and we live happily ever after. But it's not happening like that nowadays. And I think we as women think it's that simple. We as women or men may think, yeah, well, men already have it simple. They thinking all I gotta do is say something to her and she gonna fall for me, blah, blah, blah. But we as
That's
women, we
not
are more.
true. That's not true. No, listen to
Go
what
ahead.
I'm saying. And if I'm wrong, guys, please say I'm wrong. Guys are the most scariest people on the planet. Do you understand the courage it takes for a man to walk over to a woman and generate a conversation that he's interested in? We have to not be nervous. We have to be articulate, right? We have to work cool. We have to somehow make you smile. We got to have show some interest or whatever. And the worst thing that can happen, especially in this day and age, is for her to disrespect us or say something stupid or say something whatever and make us look small. So again, there are certain women that become unapproachable because they look a certain way, they act a certain way. It's not that simple. And then the guys that are the true players, right? Because again, and I always say, y'all date the same 80%, right? Or I'm sorry, the same 20% of guys. Because again, just look at the statistics. Y'all will go after that guy that y'all know he's a player. Y'all know he's gotten around. Y'all know he's done several things. And the good guys are standing on the sidelines hoping they get an opportunity and a chance.
No, I think then that's just a challenge. With women, we have egos too. So with us, I think it's just a challenge. We're just thinking like, girl, he fine. I'm gonna see if I can get him. That's it.
Right. But Cookie, you just
That's
turned
it.
around and said the one guy, he was a nerd. The one guy, he was a lame. He was this. He was that.
Well, let me say this, Will. When we say those terms, it's just like we just know he wasn't the one for me. Now, Godiva Chocolate says, Cookie, we've talked about this before. Godiva, you're gonna have to realize, you're gonna have to inbox me and tell me who you really are if we really talked about this before. It's not necessarily intimidation. Men just know you aren't a $40 bust down, so they need to come correct. You are right, because I'm
from
not
Chicago. She's from Chicago.
I believe me. Sometimes I done fell for the okie doke, and I try to be sympathetic and be like this. Let me just get some pity dick, because I be like this. Oh, okay. Let me just go ahead and go out with him. That's for your experience, not mine. It's really not. It's really not. Mark says, I don't know about the scariest, but it takes courage. Yes, it do. Sebastian says, in reality, Cookie, why would you date a man that comes into your hangout? Let me say this, Sebastian. It's not a man that comes into my hangout. It's a man, Chi-Town stand up. Okay, Godiva, inbox me to tell me who you
I
really
told
are.
you she's from Chicago.
She gotta be. She gotta be. But let me
When you
say
say
this.
bust down, yeah.
Let me say this, Sebastian. It's not, when it comes to be dating somebody that comes into my hangout, we just have a commonality. And when I say a commonality, it means like we both smoke cigars or we both blah, blah, blah. I'm not intimidated by a man who comes into the same spot that I go to, because guess what? If we together, you can go about your business, I can go about mine. We are here to have a good time. That's it. I'm not a woman who smothers you where I figure we got to be unto each other, blah, blah, blah. If the
Lord
time
knows,
comes
don't
when you
touch
need
her.
to tell somebody,
Don't touch her and hug up on her.
shut up. If the time comes where I need to check a motherfucker and say, my man is sitting over there, I know how to do that. But in the meantime, everybody don't have to be in our relationship. Everybody don't have to be any of that part. But I will make it known if we are in that quote unquote part where I said, this is my man. I'll be like this. No, you can go talk to my man over there. I have no problem letting nobody know. But it doesn't matter if we frequent the same place, because he could be on one side of the room, I could be on the other. So that doesn't bother me.
And it's a
We
safe
just can't.
space. It's a safe
Yeah,
space.
it is. It is a safe space. We just happen to be in here smoking cigars together. If you know me, you know my personality. You know I'm gonna sit down. We gonna keep talking, blah blah blah. You have to be a man that's really confident. You can go about your business, hang out with your boys, go play dominoes, do whatever, and I'm gonna be sitting right there, minding my business, enjoying the conversation. But you won't. You do have to have trust, because you will know you ain't got to worry about me. We gonna sit there and have a conversation. I'm gonna be like, Nick, go on about your business. I'm not going for all that. So, Sebastian, when you say somebody that is in the same spot, there are plenty of married couples that come into the same spot.
Yeah.
I've seen it, and I've seen it work. They just be like, girl, he over there on the member side. I'm over here talking shit. We over here having girl conversation. So I don't think the same spot has anything to do with it. That's just me.
Be
That's
careful.
just me.
You get on the no hug list.
Shut up. You're right. Mark says she from Brainerd. You're right, Godiva. Chi-Town, stand up. Brenda says, damn right. Don't touch me, damn it. Sebastian says, yes, you can. But when things go off the rails, you're going to see this person from time to time. And guess what? Let me say this. Things did get off the rail, because I will share this experience with you that happened to me over the weekend, and then I'll go ahead and close out because I already know it's 5:59. I had an exchange with one of the members of my favorite hole in the wall, and he's married. Now, granted, I respect his marriage. I've never met his wife, but I do know that he's married. Now, I do know that I'm the type of woman that will talk shit from time to time. We always talk shit, but I've never, my right hand to God, I have never let it cross the line. Now, this man crossed the line. Even the friends that were around him noticed and said, dude, you taking this too far. It took everything in me to say, nigga, who the fuck you talking to? And I'm going to walk away. So I walked away. But then in this instance, this past Sunday, that person walked up to me and said, you know what, Cookie, you are so right. My boys checked me because you are a pillar in this community. And I took it to an extent because he was saying some shit that was totally out of pocket. And I was saying to myself, this ain't stuff you say to me as a woman, especially you as a married man. So I said, let me walk away because what's going to happen is you're going to get cussed the fuck out. He did apologize. He did tell me, Cookie, no, we are always been good. You are my friend, you know, blah, blah, blah. So things like that have happened. But as a woman, I said to myself, what are you, like I had to check myself, like, what are you giving off? What are you saying that's not correct? What are you saying that this man thinks that even him as a married man could say some fucked up shit like that to you? But his friends had already checked him. His friends had already said, you better make sure that you go to Cookie and apologize to her because what you did, dude, was fucked up. And he apologized. I give him shout out. He apologized, but he said, I was wrong. It takes a real man to say that they were wrong. It takes a real man to correct his behavior. But going forward, I know that I was saying to myself, it puts something on our relationship. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, I don't think you would have said anything that to me if I was somebody else. But because it was me, and I took it personal, because this is how I check my character. Because it was me, I was thinking, what am I showing, or what am I, what do you call it? Say it again.
Giving access to, like, that you.
Yes, what am I giving access to that you felt comfortable saying that to me in a group full of friends or in public or something like that? So with this conversation with Cookie B, I thought I'd come on here and I was thinking about relationships. I was thinking about my friend who is waiting on the Lord. I was thinking about all of my married friends. I was thinking about how to better this platform, number one, because y'all, it's some shit out here. I don't understand what's happening. I don't understand why we as human beings are not really, like respecting each other. Sebastian says, but when you're a couple, when you're not a couple anymore, that's okay, because I've seen firsthand how couples, and I know you guys, we've gone over our time, but I've seen firsthand how couples have been on here, especially at our favorite hole in the wall. Then you have friends that were friends with her, friends that were friends with him. And now, and I heard one of my friends say this, it's kind of awkward. Because when you come in and that other friend has a new friend that he now or she now has brought into the lounge or brought on the set, what do? In my mind, you accept that new friend and move on about your business. Because things didn't work out with them. We don't know why it didn't work out with them, but he now or she now has found their happiness.
Sometimes you got to get new cookies.
Say it again.
Sometimes you got to get new cookies. I mean, I'm just saying.
Correct. Now, people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Maybe that season was up, but because that next woman that this one man or this next man that woman or man has gotten with, that doesn't mean you treat them any different.
100%.
It's because they've now moved on. Maybe in the beginning that was who they were supposed to be or who they was with for that season. But now that doesn't mean you don't bring them to our favorite hole in the wall. That doesn't mean you bring them to around other people. People grow apart.
So we could talk about this on Thursday, but
yes,
that's a real conversation, because honestly, if and my situation is different, obviously, but if I was with somebody and I broke up, I don't want them coming to my favorite hole in the wall anymore. I don't want to be in the same space with that person anymore.
Hold on. We're going to talk about it on Thursday. Because if that's where we met, and now I've established friendships with different men, different women, all of that stuff, now you telling me I can't come no more?
Hell no.
Shit. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been this episode of Conversation with Cookie B. Will. We're going to talk about that on Thursday. What happens when you have melded your friends together? You've met at a commonality, what is it, commonality, whatever.
Commonality.
Then all of a sudden, y'all ain't friends no more. He or she done met somebody else, so now I can't bring them to the restaurant. I can't bring them to.
No. Mm-mm.
Well, I will see you on Thursdays, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome and thank you for tuning in for this episode of Conversations with Cookie B on Thursday. We're going to talk about after the breakup,
why she got
or after whatever's happened. I can't come to Olive Garden no more because you dating.
You better go to what's that, Applebee's or something. You ain't coming to Olive Garden no more.
Ladies and gentlemen, I will see you on Thursday. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you guys for tuning in to this episode of Conversations with Cookie B. Thursday, we're going to talk about, so after we done broke up, I can't go to the same. I can't even talk about it. I can't even talk about it.
Better
I'm
try
in the
Talking
process
City.
of
I heard when Fuego was good. Try that. I don't know.
So I can't go to Fogo de Chao no more because I see you guys on Thursday. Thank you guys for tuning in to this episode of Conversation with Cookie B. I thank you guys because I apologize. We are 6 minutes over, but tune in Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for another episode of Conversations with Cookie B. See you guys on Thursday. I know Godiva says, I'll be so ready to tell somebody to get their goofy ass on. You're right. But I will see you guys on Thursday. Please tune in. Tell a friend. I am a process. Guys, today, if y'all don't know, I have been on this dang on internet all day trying to upload videos. I found a app that will help me do different segments of my videos, but I'm trying to expand my expand my platform so I can get more to you. So once again, I will see you guys on Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of Conversations with Cookie B, and I will see you guys on Thursday. I love you. Just know, it's almost my birthday. May 21st, it's almost my birthday. Hey. See you guys on Thursday. Thank you for tuning in today. Have a good evening, and I will see you guys. Love you.